Hey there, James here with Penner Trailer Sales. Today, as your Coyote dealer, I want to talk a bit about transmissions. So with tractor transmissions, there's variations. There's manual transmissions, there's hydrostatic transmissions, there's even manuals with shuttles and without shuttles. I want to break that down and hopefully make it easily understandable for you. To do that, I want to start with characteristics that both manual transmissions and hydrostatic transmissions share in common. First of all, the hydraulic fluid is the same as the transmission fluid. It's all held in the transmission case. Essentially, the transmission case is the hydraulic reservoir. There's not a separate tank. That means the hydraulic pump pulls from the transmission case for its fluid to generate the hydraulic pressure for the loader and the implements. That means also that your filter is one filter for both the transmission and the hydraulic fluid. Also, the PTO drive shaft passes directly through the transmission from the engine to the rear. It's driven directly on both the manual and the hydrostatic transmissions. Both transmission types are also equipped with a range selector. A range selector is meant to be shifted before you start your work. It's not shifted while you're in motion. You can shift it if you stop during your work, but high range will provide you speed. The tractor won't have as much torque while it accelerates, but you're able to go faster. Low ranges will be much torque. The tractor will be able to create quite a bit of drive torque, but it's not going to go fast. Some tractors will have a low and a high, some will have a low, medium, and high. But both manual and hydrostatic transmission tractors will have a range selector. Now, specific to a manual transmission, if you've driven a manual automobile, you'll find it to be very similar. First, primarily, you have a clutch located on the left side. When you depress the clutch, it disconnects the transmission from the engine. You'll do that when you start the tractor, as well as stopping the tractor after having been in motion, or just to shift gears. Then next we have a gear shift or a gear selector. This is different from the range selector, and this gear shift will provide you some range of speed. It's synchronized, so you'll be able to shift it on the go, just like you do a automobile. And then this also provides you a reverse. This particular transmission has 3 speeds forward and 1 reverse. It has 3 ranges. So 3 speeds forward in 3 different ranges provides you 9 different travel speeds forward. And then with 1 reverse and 3 ranges, there's 3 different reverse speeds. They refer to that then as a 9x3. Some manual transmissions will be a shuttle shift. A shuttle is basically just a selector that will change the direction of the tractor from forward to reverse. So you press in the clutch, you have forward, neutral, and also reverse. That means you can set your travel speed, you have your range and your gear selector, and to go from forward to reverse, you just press in the clutch, stop the tractor, shift it to reverse, and you go to reverse. In that case, you have the same amount of travel speeds available in reverse as you do forward. This particular tractor has 4 speeds on the gear selector, and in this case, when you have a shuttle, you won't have a reverse on the gear selector. This tractor has a gear selector on the opposite side as the one we were just at. You have 4 on the gear selector, and this tractor has 2 ranges. So this transmission will be referred to as an 8x8. The primary advantage of a shuttle shift is convenience. The change direction of travel with the tractor is pressing the clutch, stop the motion of the tractor, and shift it either to forward or reverse, whichever direction you need. And you don't have to change your gear selection over here to leave reverse. It can be a little bit more time consuming, not quite as convenient to change it from reverse to your travel speeds as with a shuttle shift. Shuttle shift can also be a power shuttle. Some of the larger tractors will have a power shuttle in the Coyote brand. And a power shuttle refers to the clutch. You don't need to press in the clutch to shift it to forward or to reverse. You can just select your gear and place it in forward, and the clutch is essentially power activated and will engage for you. Manual transmissions in general are more power and torque efficient. They transmit the power and torque more efficiently because it's a direct mechanical transmission between the engine and the ground. Also, the upfront cost is slightly less. There's about an $1,100 spread that we see between a manual and a hydrostatic transmission with the Coyote brand. The only drawback is that there's more user input. you need to be pressing a clutch. You need to be shifting either the gear shift or the manual, as opposed to a more simpler operation with a hydrostatic. With hydrostatic transmissions, the geared transmission is replaced with a variable displacement hydraulic motor. That hydraulic motor will give you the same range of travel speeds as well as your forward and reverse. It's controlled by just two pedals. You have a forward pedal and you have a reverse pedal, making the operation of a hydrostatic transmission very simple. One feature commonly found on hydrostatic transmissions is a feature similar to a cruise control. That is, after you've reached your desired speed, you can press the button and remove your foot from the pedal without the pedal returning. That allows you to travel a distance without needing to hold your foot in one position. Coyote tractors have a dedicated pump for the hydrostatic transmissions. That means the transmission is able to function and it's not going to be taking any flow away from your other hydraulic functions. There's a separate hydraulic pump that will still function your loader and your remotes in the back and so forth. Since there are two pumps, there are also two filters. Each pump essentially has a straw that goes back to the hydraulic reservoir that it's drawing fluid through, and each one of those intakes has a filter. So for maintenance purposes, the hydraulic fluid, the change interval is the same hydrostatic versus manual tractors, but you do have one extra filter to change on the hydrostatic transmissions. As you can see, hydrostatic transmissions offer very great ease of use. They're very simple. They work well in applications where there's lots of forward and reverse motion. However, they're not quite as efficient with power and torque efficiency. They have a little bit more loss as opposed to the manual transmissions. So I hope that's been a helpful look at the different types of transmissions found on compact tractors. If you have any further questions, we'd love to have a conversation with you here at Penner Trailer Sales, 931-361-1122.